Hello and welcome back, dear humans. This is a very, very exciting moment for me. I'm so pumped to share this bonus episode with you. And the question I have for you today is, have you ever felt like you're standing on the edge of something big? Like you know that there's a big shift coming, but you're also stuck in a fog and you don't know which direction to go. It's like, I know that there's change. I know I need to move, but there's this thick fog all around me and I just simply don't know which direction to move in because what if it's the wrong direction? And if that's you, then that's totally normal because generally in moments of awakening, we reach a place where we wonder, am I really like totally lost or am I actually on the verge of something deeper? And I'm just really excited to share this bonus episode with you today because this is a conversation with myself and a recent client, Alice, who has agreed to share her own experience of what it was like working with me. And honestly, I was surprised by how deeply moving the conversation itself was. I mean, not that surprised, but at the same time, like just you have to kind of see the video for this, but if you're on audio, it's also fine. You'll hear it in her voice and in our conversation. But in the video, the way that the light looks on her side, I swear it looks like she's just like lighting up and about to drift into some beautiful state of bliss. I mean, I don't know, there's just something so cool about it. So I feel really honored that I got to be a part of her journey of transformation, that I got to sit with her and support her through her own shifts from self-doubt, from stuckness, from fogginess, from these feelings of like, how do I move forward? How do I overcome these limitations around money and around personal life and around my own authentic sharing with the world? And it was just such an honor to be on this path with her. So if you are a highly sensitive, awakening wanderer in the world and you've been feeling doubt or you've been feeling stuck or feeling like you're not sure of your next steps, because again, there's that foggy overwhelm. And if you feel ready to trust yourself in a whole new way, then this bonus episode is so much for you. This conversation is going to inspire the heck out of you as much as it did for me. And if you already know that you're ready to explore this kind of transformation for yourself, you can feel free to book a short 15-minute insight call at the link in the show notes, or just go to alreadyfree.me/insight. There is a very short questionnaire there as well that just helps me to clarify how can I support you in making those shifts. It'll take you a couple of minutes to do, but otherwise listen on to Alice's story because she was right where you might be right now. She was in that place of fogginess, of stuckness, and you'll hear in her own words what her journey and what her experience has been like as she moved through the fog, found the lighthouse, saw the light that she needed to see to tell her which way to go, and stepped into a deep self-trust and the changes that's made, not just on the kind of like, oh, I feel a bit better, but on the financial side and on the emotional side and on how she gets to share and show up in the world. And that is coming right up. So thank you for being here. Enjoy this bonus episode and I'll see you on the other side. When you hear the words, we are already free, what comes up for you?
Acceptance.
Change.
A shift in awareness.
Human beings are so powerful.
There's so much more.
Everything is love behind it.
Breaking the chains of your own mind.
That which remains.
Nature.
Getting out of the matrix.
We're sitting on the treasure and it's already unlocked.
We are already free.
You're free.
You are a walking map.
Have always been free.
You are always free, already free.
We are already free.
We're just chatting and free flowing. And This is quite a new thing for me as well to do like a live thing like this, but I'm really excited because I just get to explore your own experience. But if you want to begin just sharing a little bit about yourself, yeah, that's it really.
I was not expecting that. Okay. A little bit about myself. Well, I am in the midst of a transformation. The things that I've done all of my life, just like the thing you just said, can I own my message? I'm in the midst of owning everything that I've wanted to be and how I've walked in the world. We always have this vision of who we can be or who we want to be. Not all of us have that vision, but a lot of us do. And then what do we do with that? So I'm in the middle of owning all of that. Who am I? Who do I want to be? How do I step into that? How do I bring myself out of past programming, bypass everything that I've been taught to believe, and then stepping into what is actually true for me. And that's a big shift, right? Especially like today. Isn't today supposed to be the new moon in Pisces? And this big revelation of, holy moly, let the truth begin. And who am I? Someone who is authentic to a fault at times. So whenever you get me, wherever, in whatever place, shift, movement, stillness, I cannot be anybody but the honest truth of where I'm at in that moment. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that the question you wanted?
Yeah. It's all there's any wherever you want to take it really is perfect. And
okay.
And before we started working together, what do you feel was the absolute biggest challenge or problem or pain that you were experiencing that kind of brought you to me?
Lack of clarity and needing someone with your masculine divinity, because you just carry this divine masculine in a way that I resonate with. And so, yeah, I searched you out. You popped into my head out of the blue, and I'm like, okay, well, I know he's far away. I don't know how we're going to work it out. Me being in the States and you being in South Africa, right? So, but it's worked out. And it was like the best decision I ever made. Because I am more clear today than when we started.
Oh, beautiful. And well, let's go back to, because obviously that was quite a big thing in that time for you, the lack of clarity, that realization, like something was calling you in and calling you forward. And how did that feel for you, that experience of that lack of clarity? How did that show up in the way that you were feeling in yourself, in your life?
There was a lot of brain fog for me. When I get lost like that, I can't put my thoughts together in a way that makes sense. I can go to work, do my work, or I can talk to friends, but behind that, there's a insecurity in my walk in life, right? There's an insecurity there. And so I wasn't secure within my own feminine aspect. And basically that's why we're all mirrors to each other. And so finding you, I knew like, oh, okay, this person's going to mirror for me what I needed in this moment, because I needed someone to ground me. And whether you might think yes or no on that, you did ground me. You showed up in such a way that is exactly what I needed at that time.
Before we started working together, like when we were having the conversation and checking in about the potential, was there any moment where you were hesitating or doubting that change was possible? Or did you have any reservations about signing up or anything around that time of kind of like, oh, there's this resistance to signing up? Or if so, what did that look like for you?
Well, if there was any resistance, it was only about my own insecurity of whether I could step over the threshold with you. So I tried to stay in curiosity, because in curiosity, there's no pressure to have to grow. Oh my God, I'm paying for this and I have to show growth. So I stayed mostly in curiosity. And when you stay in that, I think there's more light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. Yeah, I could say.
Thank you. When we started working together, I'm curious around what was different about working with me. What was distinct in the way that you experienced our work together?
One of the first things is, and I learned this years ago when I did that little coaching thing with you when you were first getting into coaching, you're really good at questions. You might have gotten the question from somewhere. But when it comes out of your mouth, there's a way that you come from your heart asking the question that is different than just reading it off a list. You add your heart to the question. And because of that, I resonate with that. I resonate with people that, and it shifts me when people come from their heart and not just the logic, not just the logical mind. So that was helpful.
Thank you.
And that was different. That was different because I have worked with coaches before that are regimented and there's a way to do things. There's a way to do things. and you're just not that you're not that way, but I didn't see it like that. Because you came with your heart instead of your like, okay, I have to ask these questions and this is important. it was just done differently.
Oh,
so I resonated
thank
with
you.
that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And what did you notice starting to change during and even maybe after us working together? But what is that transformation you started to experience in our time together?
You assisted my confidence to come up. You asked the questions in a way that made me feel confident to answer you and be vulnerable enough to go to certain places that I might not have gone with someone who was very left brain. Because you were in your heart when you did that, it was easier for me to find that ability to find the confidence. And that's when I knew, okay, we're going somewhere. I'm doing something. Something's happening. And so that was very helpful. As we worked together, in the back of my mind, I always had you as my lighthouse. You were the person that I talked to every Thursday night. And knowing that throughout the rest of the week, you'd be the light that I'd be like, okay, I'm coming back. I'm coming, my ship is coming to dock. You're my lighthouse during this time of transformation. And that was really important for me because I didn't have that before that. I didn't have that. And that was, for me, that was the biggest transformation. And for me right now, which is really interesting, I still have you out there. You're further away. Like that lighthouse was closer when we were working on a regular basis. But literally, I know this is odd and it might be weird to you, but
I love
I
weird.
have you out there as my lighthouse. Like, okay, what's Nathan doing? If I connect within his energy, that lighthouse just gets brighter, right? I'm able to connect with you in a way where you light me back to remembering who I am. And that's huge for me. So I hope you don't mind that I keep you there for a while. Because that's really important for me. So, yeah, you're just going to be my lighthouse for a little bit, if you don't mind.
I'm deeply honored, Alice. Thank you so much. It's really such a beautiful reflection and a reminder to me to keep shining, to keep my flame well fueled. So, yeah.
Yes, because when I see you as that, it literally, it reflects back and I'm reminded, oh yes, I can shine as bright as him, right? And so it's that reciprocation of energy that I'm just going to have you there for a while, just as a nice little
Thank you.
reminder of who we can be,
Thank you.
That's my favorite part of you, by the way, that I feel allowed to do that. Like you've given me permission to put you in that place. You've given me permission. And that I am very grateful for. Because there's people that can't take that, right? Can't own that part of themselves. And I think even though you might every once in a while have a challenge with owning that part of yourself, there's nothing that I see but a lighthouse when I see you. Right? So I'm very grateful that I can have you there as that. So thanks.
My pleasure, Alice, and ditto. It's all, as you know, it's all reflections. And so I'm so grateful for that. And I'm curious because you've mentioned around these transformations that you experienced and this process that you're in. Are there any other specific results or transformations that you experienced through us working together, whether in your inner world or in your creative expression or anything, whatever level?
As we worked through some financial and money things, it has literally shifted because we were able to pinpoint some major things. And mind you, I already know that we meet people at certain times for certain things. And our connection at that moment was in a place where it couldn't be anybody else. It had to be you who helped me get to that point to where I can let go of past beliefs of money. that really has shifted my current life. That part was very, very helpful. Very helpful.
I'm so glad to hear that. That's fantastic. And
Yeah.
and of course, then I wrote your custom heart song for you. And I'm curious
That
to
was
hear what kind of shifts or emotions has that inspired for you, maybe even when you first heard it to if you've been listening to it now.
Yes, yes. I've shared it with a couple people and they were like, oh my God, that is so who you are. They love it too. But for myself, it's a grounding force in remembering the strength and the power that I actually have. Because I Caught on Fire is like a phoenix rising up out of the flames that keeps me in that place of, girl, burn your fire, baby, burn your fire. Yeah, so it's been a place of, I guess, solace. Also, the other thing about that song that is amazing to me is that I didn't know I needed a witness as bad as I needed until I heard that song. Because what's great about that song is that you saw me, and in that time in my life, I needed someone to see me, as raw and vulnerable as me. And so I'm grateful for that as well, because I really needed that, and you provided that.
Thank you. Thanks, Alice. And if you were chatting with a friend or someone you love or a business partner who was considering working with me, what might you want to say to them or share with them to support them in their own decision making in this area?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I know this is a silly, minuscule, silly thing, but like, he has the best accent. Because us Americans don't get to listen to too many South Africans. But no, the first thing I would mention is your strength. And then secondly, I would mention your playfulness. Emotions can get really serious. They can get really heavy. And you have a way of getting to the root of something that's serious in a playful way that lets you be vulnerable when you need to be vulnerable. And that's a pretty big plus. That's a pretty big plus. So I saw you take a big breath. Is that a lot?
But I'm just feeling very grateful and definitely, I mean, throughout this chat, I'm like, this is not my time to cry. So no, thank you. That's really, you've just reflected something so profound for me that is so, I've heard it said in different ways, and I think you've just said it one of the most beautiful ways I've ever heard. And it's,
nice.
you know, you're actually reminding me of a breathwork session I took someone through, and we did an ice bath and breathwork, and she said afterwards, she was like, it was so light while being so deep. And she said that was just amazing, that it could be so.
Yes. And I believe that, yeah. No, but I think that that's part of your gift. Your gift to the world is that how can you make something so serious fun, right? Or intriguing or curious or I want more when something could be so heavy. And you lighten things up. You just lighten things up.
It's that lighthouse.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that you'd love to add about your own journey or our work together or anything else at all in this moment?
Well, I'm just really grateful that I followed my hunch, because that's part of this whole learning process when you work with someone. Is you really want to work with someone, but you're not sure, this, that, or the other. Not everyone's going to get the same results. That's why it's so important to follow your gut. My gut told me I needed to work with you. It was something that was just so, even when I put it away, I can't do that right now. I can't do that right now. It kept coming back. So that told me there's no time to waste.
Well, thank you.
The universe is calling. My lighthouse is calling me in.
That was such a pleasure working with you, Alice. Really, just to witness your unfolding. I'd love to know, would you like to share somewhere where people could find you if they're interested in learning more about your work and what you're offering, and maybe even just sharing a little more about that, of what are you bringing through? What are your creations, and where could people find you?
Well, what's really interesting right now is I'm stepping into a different part of who I am. So I'm really working with oracle cards right now and that intuitive understanding. And so I've been working with people in a different way because I'm being a body worker and always working in that fashion, stepping away from the body and doing the same type of deep work, but not actually needing to touch the body is a different thing for me. Mm. And so I'm stepping into that, just like when you're next to, when someone walks into a room, you know exactly who that person is. We might not want to admit that or not, but we do. That person carries his or her energy with them, right? So I'm stepping more into that place. And so I'm expressing that on YouTube right now. And I'm working with a couple clients doing personal wellness coaching. And so those things right now, I've worked in the coaching world before, but I've been doing really a lot of body work lately. And so I'm sort of stepping away from the body work and stepping more into the intuitive side of life. Yeah.
The intuitive side of life. And what would people search for on YouTube if they wanted to find you?
Alice, Your Soul Mentor.
Alice, Your Soul Mentor.
And then I have a website named yoursoulmentor.com. And so you could find me there as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, thank you so much, Alice. This has really been such a lovely refreshment of our connection and of our time together, and such a pleasure. And really, your song, oh my gosh. I think I told you, because I wrote your song, I don't know if I told you this. I feel like I did. I said often I kind of have an idea of what's going to happen for a song because I'm working with someone for a few months, and we're gathering so much information and stories and histories and all these amazing things. And I'm like, oh, I know I kind of have there's a shape there, even if I don't know the exact structure. But in your case, which I was surprised about because we had so much to work with. There was not a single bit of thinking clarity in my logical thoughts around what this is going to look like. So it really took some courage actually for me to just print out the notes that I had for you from our discussions and all these different parts, and just sit down with it all spread out around me going, I'm here and I'm available and I actually get very emotional talking about this because it was such a profoundly beautiful moment. But just to sit down and allow that. And as I sat, that first line, the very first line that came in was that came in hard, all of these struggles. It was just like, ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. I just immediately felt this like shivering in my being of, okay, we got to just keep going here. Mm-hmm. This is important. And that song has stuck with me so strongly. I think the day after I played it for you for the first time, I played it in a plant medicine ceremony that I was invited to facilitate or to at least assist on, because I just knew like that feeling of that struggle, that pain of coming in so open and so authentic, which I think honestly, all of us do. I don't know. I don't want to say all of us, but I kind of think it is. We all come in authentically hearted, like our desire to be. Yes. And so that first line came in hard, all of these struggles, and then talking about the things we were told, like this is how it is, and you need to be this way and be scared and this thing. But like I felt this authentic heart, but I gave up that authentic heart because I love you so much, because I want to be connected to my parents, to my peers, to this society, because I need to be connected. That's such a deep human need. And I surrendered myself for that. And so that when that line came through, I was like, this song is universal. This song is for me. It's for all of us. So I just really, and then that, because you had shared how that story of the phoenix and that story of regeneration in that way is so important to you, that when that chorus arrived around, I caught on fire, was just so profoundly important. And so, yeah, thank you for trusting me with our time together and with such a vulnerable and powerful truth speaking, because that enabled me to write a song like that is going to honestly help so many people. Your essence is now in this like magic genie's lamp that someone can just rub, like press play and the genie comes out and just helps you.
Right.
And so,
Right.
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, that first line, when I first heard it, I mean, you sang it to me, but then you sent it,
Yeah.
right? That first line, I was like, oh, geez, yeah. And we forget, as we go through these things, we forget that it's so important to remember that initial point of, holy, wow, this moment in time, it is called struggle, right? And we, at least myself, the reason that was so strong is that I try to step away from that. We all try to step away. We don't want to think that we're in the struggle. We don't want to think that, because it's so discombobulating in every single way. Our minds, our bodies, everything. So that line is so strong. That line is so strong.
Oh, I also,
so thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And I mean, I could take apart this song and explore the different aspects forever because I love it so much. But also the second verse being an honoring of your daughter and your journey with that. And like, to me, it again becomes something universal because life gives us everything we need it invites us. Everything that happens in us and around us is an invitation to drop into unconditional love and to expand into more love. And that really, that verse, that's what it reminds me of, is that saying thank you to life for the expansion, and life will always say, you're welcome. And that invitation to burn up the parts that we no longer need, that's really, so thank you on every level for your offering.
Thank you. Isn't that interesting, though, that as we step further into ourselves, because you're a natural songwriter. It is part of your healing. How you heal the world is through song, right? And as you step more and more into that, each song is going to be a medicine. Because what I feel that you're actually doing with each client, you're growing each client into a medicine. Because we all carry the archetype of all these little things within us. And you're just sharing those archetypes that are so deeply rooted in the human being. And it's just so good. It's just so good.
What you've reminded me of is how we use like aromatherapy as medicine, like the scent of things. And what is that? But it is an essence. It's an extracted essence. So what these songs are actually is an extracted, essential, medicinal human essence.
So that in itself is that whole, that in itself is a science, right? Like you're literally creating a new science of healing.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so cool because I realize now I have an essential essence of Alice medicine.
That's huge. That's huge. That is so cool.
My apothecary is growing, and I have these like essences that I can bring out at different times for depending on what medicine is needed.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. That idea alone is mind blowing. It's like the Akashic records, right? You're taking those little essences. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So good.
Very rad. I love that. That's so fun. That makes me very happy.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Alice. Thank you for your time and for being willing to hop on this call with me. And I mean, just one other question is, are you happy for me to share this on my podcast, in all the places, to use in my marketing materials?
Sure. I mean, I didn't explain myself too well, but that's okay.
I disagree. I'll just...
Who am I? Oh, that's a serious question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you feel to, because we've kind of warmed up and softened in, it's always a little... It can be sticky at the beginning. So if you would like to describe a bit more about yourself, or who are you, or what is it that you're bringing, or who is how
Oh no, I'm good to be as discombobulated.
Perfect.
And because in reality we all are at moments, and sometimes we're really strong in who we are and other times we're not. And so I'm just really good at reflecting all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Alice. Well, yeah, that's it. Is there anything else just to close, like that you would want to share with me or ask me, or anything else at all? Or just, there's no need to, but just in case there's a need for closure on anything.
No, I think that as my consciously created lighthouse, right? Like you are there for me, right? Just know that out of the blue someday, I might reach out again and be like, hi, my lighthouse. I might need another couple things from you.
I would
Couple sessions.
be honored and delighted.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's nice to know that you're there. That's the thing. It's nice to know that you're there.
Thank you. Yeah. Ditto. It's nice to know that you're there and that we're all in it together. And I really, appreciate that. Yeah.
It's nice to find people from your tribe, even across the world.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because you're definitely part of my tribe.
Yeah. Ditto. Well, thank you, Alice. I wish you a good evening further on your side of the world as I move into my day here. And
Thank you.
it's just been, I really realized, I didn't realize at first, because I'm obviously excited about the call and just, it's so nice to have a testimonial and to have someone who has had such an experience that they're like, yes, I would love to do this. But I realized as I was prepping for the call, I was like, I'm actually just excited to chat with Alice again. Like, this is going to be so cool. So thank you.
No, it's great. Well, because you get to play with my essence every once in a while, right? Because you're singing the song.
Absolutely.
You're singing the song.
Very much so. Oh, I love that so much.
So I get to hang out with you even when I'm not there.
Exactly. Very much so. Okay. Beautiful. Well, beautiful, beautiful day and evening to you. And as I said before, you're welcome to find me on Substack as like a way to stay connected and please feel free anytime, comment, chat, all the things. Like I realize what I'm lacking currently on social media is this feeling of we're all in it together. I feel like it's like a one-way. I'm just like competing with this intense kind of dopamine doom scroll that most people are experiencing. Absolutely. And that's not a judgment. I do the same thing. Like it's just this unrelenting intensity. And what I'm looking for is a space where we can come together and yes, share on the internet, but that I can bring through whatever the message currently is to come through and then chat about it and have conversations and have reflection and enjoy that dialogue that just feels to be missing a lot of the time from what I'm currently experiencing on the internet. So that's what I'm seeking. That's my intention. So thank you for asking me. It was really interesting. You perfectly asked me the question I needed to hear in this moment to help me to realize that I am making the right move, because it's quite a big move of moving to Substack and making the effort to really commit to a platform at this time. So thank you.
Yay.
Okay. I wish you well.
I'll keep in touch.
Please do.
Thank you. I wish you well too. And I'll keep in touch. And don't forget to post about how your little one is growing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's that I will definitely share. I may save that for a paid area or something slightly more
perfect.
Like
perfect.
off the main drag on
off the main drag. Yes.
Thank you, Alice.
Okay.
Blessings.
Well, many blessings to you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, that was just amazing. I loved every freaking second of that. Oh. Well, dear listener, thank you for being here for this bonus episode. I feel deeply moved by this conversation that I had with Alice. And it just means so much to me to see someone light up like that. Such a beautiful human who's been navigating all those old stories, all those old patterns that we all have from this society, from our upbringing, from this world that we live in. And we can change. And that's something I've often not believed. I just felt like, well, maybe other people can, but I'm the difference. I'm the one that can't. So I hope that you walk away from this knowing that you can change, that whether you choose to work with me or you choose to work with someone else or you choose to just work with yourself, that whatever you choose, you can change and it is possible. And maybe just knowing that gives you the impetus that you need to know that you're not alone, that change is possible and that you don't have to fix anything. It's just about remembering who you already are, who you really are. So thank you so much to Alice. Thank you for your courage and for your truth speaking, for your willingness to step into this process with me. And if this has resonated with you, dear listener, and you would like to explore your own transformation, if you want someone in your corner in the boxing ring of life, someone there with a towel and a bit of water and a kind word in between rounds, or if you're stuck in a fog and you need that lighthouse, you need that moment of support for you where you can just see clear ways through again, and not that you need it from the outside, but the light shines into you and shows you your own light and reminds you of who you already are. And if you're not sure yet, then that's also cool. You can take your time. But if you feel ready, please do get on that insight call. It's a 15-minute call. It's super short. There's some quick questions to answer in a questionnaire. And we'll get on a call and it'll help you at least just take that first step. I promise you, even that is courageous. Even that will start to thin that fog and bring a little bit of light. So you can go to alreadyfree.me/insight, or you can just click the link in the show notes, which is obviously the easiest route. And before you go, do stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing Alice's custom heart song after this. So yeah, this was created literally from her essence. It's like, and I, oh my gosh, that part of when we were chatting and it came to the essences and like the apothecary of songs that I'm growing from the clients I work with who each get a song written for them. Oh my gosh, that was super intense. That really like touched a deep part of me. So I hope it was medicine for you as well. And I hope this song is medicine for you as well as it was for me. And I'm actually sharing the very same version that I played for her live on our last call, like our final call of our coaching program, which was the song. So it was quite raw still. I'd only just written it maybe a week before. And you'll notice in the middle, I try to go really high and I kind of, well, you may not notice. I notice. Anyway, but I love this version. It's so heartfelt. I was so in it and I just so enjoyed. So you're actually hearing the same energy that she heard in that first time of hearing her song. So again, so much love to you. Trust yourself. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. I hope to be on an insight call with you soon if you have need for my services. But otherwise, we'll be back with our usual podcast episodes later this week as usual. So thank you for being here. Please remember, we are already free. And if you've forgotten, I'm here and I can help. So I'll see you on a call soon. All the best. Thank you again to Alice, and I'll chat with you next time.
Came in hard, all of these struggles. Told me money don't grow on trees. Who do I believe when my heart feels abundant? But I love you so much, I compromise what makes me free. Now I see what's true for me. I receive all that I need. Oh, I caught on fire, sparks fly, dance a light. Oh, I caught on fire, I rise, dance a light. welcome, she says, when I thank her for this. Love beyond borders of belief. Help me burn up the parts that I no longer need. Now I see what's true for me. I receive all that I need. Oh, I caught on fire. Sparks fly, dance a light. Oh, I caught on fire. I rise, dance a light. Truth coming through. I serve you who return to roots coming through, where the spark lies waiting to burst into you. Here's a secret I've been unfolding. Magic is real, so let's create our own. You are invited to call all the tribe in, gathering warmly in the light of my hope. Now I see what's true for me. I receive all that I need. Oh, I caught on fire. Sparks fly, dance a light. Oh, I caught on fire. I rise, dance a light.